Well, hello there. How is everyone? Karen having dog problems? I'm going to click on that. I think that's in the right place. Actually, I think I can put it up here. Or shall I put it over this way? Should I put it over here? No, that looks weird, doesn't it? I'll put it there. That works. I think that works. How is everyone? Hopefully you can hear me all well. I don't know what that screen's doing up there. It's having a meltdown. It's just says excellent connection, but the screen's just spinning round. Hello, cyborg mama. You did indeed. You caught alive. Oh, I'll tell you what. Took one for the team today. I watched that. I ended up watching that interview 3 times. 3 times. Oh my God. I put up with Chris McDona for, 4.5 hours in total. That was lovely. Mods, what do we got? So we've got Kristen. I hope you're feeling better, Kristen. We've got My May. Hi, My May. We've got Karen having dog problems. Superior in the house. We've got Mysterious Headlines, which is one of the new moderators. We've got Kristen, which I just said. We've got Dope. Hello, Dope. I hope you are well. Metalhead UK, the latest to the team. Yeah, don't mind me hounding everyone all night for a countdown from Harsh. See, I don't know if I can see it from here. I don't know if I can see it. I might be. Yeah, I will do actually, because I can pull it. I think it's behind that screen. So if I refresh that. Now I've covered the pissing thing. We're on 74,996 subscribers. Dope. Nearly there. Now I've got to line them all back up. My notes. My notes are crazy. Done some crazy ass note taking. I watched it once. Did everybody watch it, or are there people who didn't watch it? That's how this is going to work. I'm basically just going to go through the notes, the things that I kind of plucked out of the air. And go through it. Shelley Steer gifted 1 Harsh Reality membership. Thank you very much, Shelley. And P. Fox was the recipient of said gifted membership. And we had Lib Moore, who joined earlier. Hi, Doug. I don't know what... I might move this tomorrow. I think I'm going to have to put like that down there and that up there. Or, I don't know. No, because then I can't click on that. I don't know. Kind of talking to myself. But we should be working fine. I think we're there. We got them working, we got that working. Mike seems to be working fine. I don't know what that's fucking doing. It's not showing me a picture up there. Not that I need it. But, yes, so we've got Melinda Cook just gifted 5 Harsh Reality memberships. Thank you very, very much. And we've got Rex Roswell. We've got Linda E. We've got Ketty Pap. April May, related to June and July. And we've got Mary M., who has also been gifted a membership. Welcome. And we got Catherine sliding in from Kentucky. Hello, Catherine. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this, what day is it? Tuesday, the 9th of April. Unless you're in Australia in the future, then it's probably Wednesday and well into by now. And yeah, let's go. Right, so yes, I watched this interview. There was some interesting stuff in this interview. I don't know whether everyone caught it, because there was some things I think that was said, and it was almost like that it was said, and then it was like, But we'll get to that towards the end, because that was towards the end of the live. But we're going to be talking about the interview that was done on the interview room with Chris McDona and the Goncalves family. Well, the parents. You already know I didn't watch. That's because you love Chris McDona, and when you watch him, you swoon. So it was like, I'm not in a swooning mood, so I'm going to give it a swerve. Funny. I am funny. So the interview opened with, they were just obviously talking about that they're dealing with what's going on. You know, they're dealing with the loss. Yeah, that interview was so bad that they had to disable comments. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. And we'll get to it. There's a lot to say as we go through. But yeah, you know, I think the most important thing is how we start this is just understanding and being respectful of the fact that, you know, they've lost a child. They've lost a child, and there's no rule book for how you handle that situation. Thank you very much, Mermaid Fairy. We love you, Harshy. Can you please say happy birthday to me and my cat, Petey? Thanks for always being you and everything you do for the community. I think Mermaid Fairy and Petey deserve a happy birthday from everyone. Everyone. Thank you very much. And I hope you did have a happy birthday, or you're going to have a happy birthday. It's Turtle Boy Tuesday today. It's Turtle Boy. Hello. Right. So I think it's important just to appreciate the fact that they've lost a child, and there's no rule book for it. No rule book for it at all, and they're probably handling it perhaps better than some of us would. I certainly think that I would have been flipping my shit by now. But again, I think that is going to change later. And again, we'll get to that later. Use your soundboard. See, that I haven't got it hooked up, I don't think. Oh, have I? Yeah, I have. I lie, because I've got a different one, haven't I? I've got to find it. Where is it? Nope, not there. There. Happy birthday. So we can go... Oh, yeah. That was good. I don't know how that come across to you guys. Probably should have. I don't even know. That probably came across twice. I've got some stuff coming tomorrow. Did that actually come through? I don't know. Hello, Piney. Yeah, so here we go. Right. So the family is struggling, obviously. They talked about the fact that they are struggling as a family. They're going through a lot. Do you know what I mean? They're going through a lot. They've had new babies in the family. You know, young mums. So on top of everything that they would have naturally been going through, they're going through this on top. Please tell me he added tosser to the soundboard, and no, I don't have a bingo card. I'm probably going to be saying that quite a lot. I'm going to be saying a few things. Laying in bed in Spain on holiday, listen to you. Spain, love it. We're going to Spain in a few weeks' time. Yes. Gosh, I have fucking headphones on. Sorry about that, son. Sorry about that. I don't know who said do it. Blame them. But yeah, so they're struggling. Do you know what I mean? There's constant discussions within the family unit. You know, they're talking about it all the time. It's absolutely consuming their life. Steve talks about what kind of people they are. You know, Steve's about planning, strategy, constantly reviewing information, and whereas Christy is more reactive. Do you know what I mean? She's every day is kind of taken one day at a time, and some days she just has to check out because they've done sort of an analogy of spinning plates, and sometimes you just can't spin that many plates. So yeah, it's like that. I'm just going to pull them back down. What about my happy birthday? Happy birthday to my May. Happy birthday to you. I'll try and do, I think it's this one. That's a bit better. Probably wasn't going to blow people's noses out. It's like one of them boo, them things that come out. And if you do them really close to people, they punch them like in the eye. So yeah, that was that bit. Steve does mention the bank accounts because they were talking about like the conspiracy, and he was talking about the fact that he has to come out, and he'll come out, and he'll like if there's a he almost made it sound like if there's a conspiracy theory, if there's something that comes out, he will. It's kind of his job to manage it, but he talks about he said. He mentioned the bank accounts as one of the conspiracy theories, but he didn't go into detail of it. He obviously mentioned the tunnels as well and just kind of had the same feelings that many of us did. If I see one more person say that I said there was tunnels under that house, I'll flick their fucking eyeball. At no point did I say that there was tunnels under that house. Fucking stupid idea. I think I did a video that literally took the piss out of that idea. But yeah, I definitely didn't say tunnels. Believe the gag order has perpetuated rumours, which I think is right. Do you know what I mean? I think everybody... my name is Cyborg and I'm a harshaholic. This is like an AA meeting. This is like an AA. But like HA, Harsh Anonymous. Steve questions what court would really want to hide the truth, because he talks about why they're sort of gagging everything, which I find a bit strange because I got the whole vibe down along. Hey, Harsh, you should do a warning, loud noise commencing in 3, 2, 1. I will. Loud noise in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I'm gonna get onto that, Karen. We're gonna get there. But yeah, so Steve was talking about what court would really want to hide the truth, almost like, look, crack on with it. But again, there was some contradiction in this. There was some contradiction in what he was saying, because on one hand he was talking about the fact that, what court would want to hide the truth and all that, and sort of blaming the court, but then he was turning around and putting it really onto Ann Taylor and blaming her. But again, we'll get there in a minute. What is the exact definition of a tosser? If you look in the dictionary and look up tosser, it's probably got a picture of... Oh, I need to be careful now, don't I? I don't know, Tyler Feller? Do you have a mic drop sound? I don't think so. I will have when I get the full soundboard back out, but I haven't at the moment. But let's crack on. Steve states she wants to wait until 20... Yeah, so he then goes on to say she wants to wait until 2025 for a trial, seemingly blaming Ann Taylor for the trial timing. Now, I don't think it's about Ann Taylor wanting a 2025 trial. I think Ann Taylor has wanted discovery for the last year and hasn't been given it. Do you know what I mean? That's my take on it. I don't know whether anyone else feels that same way, but yeah, I don't think it's Ann Taylor who has really been the antagonist of a 2025 trial. She just wants to be able to do. It is the same thing as a wanker, yes, just the more polite sort of version. Yeah, so. Yeah, I do. It's not her fault. I didn't really, but there's a theme. There was a theme throughout this, which you'll see as time goes on. We all know how it's going to end. He said that. He literally said, "We all know how this is going to end," seemingly certain that the evidence points to Brian, and this is just delaying inevitability. And there was a piece that did I miss? There's a bit because I'll get to it in a second. I'll get to that in a bit. Yeah, further down here. But there's a bit to that. But basically, yeah, acting like it's just delaying inevitability. Look, we all know how it's going to end. How do you know it's going to end unless you've seen something that you shouldn't have? And they talk about the day of the crime. So Christy got a call from niece Sabrina around 1:32 p.m. saying something bad has happened, and that she initially thought, or they thought, that Kaylee had been shot at a party. Now, I think I've seen so much stuff. But I thought that story had changed. I thought that originally they said they'd heard around 10 a.m. something, but I could be wrong. But they're sort of saying that it was 1:32 p.m. that, yeah, they also think so terrible. Yeah, we'll get to that. Thought she'd been shot at a party. They started calling everybody, including Jack and Kaylee. And they originally, hi to everybody coming in. They originally saw the house cordoned off on the news and details of an unconscious person. And it was random people telling them that Kaylee had been killed. People contacted them and saying had been killed. And they said that law enforcement turned up at 5:30 p.m, but it was a neighbour that told them about 10 minutes before law enforcement turned up that Kaylee and Maddie had been killed. So they're saying there was about 4 hours between the initial call that they'd received saying something had happened and law enforcement actually confirming it. William Thompson and Taylor should be locked in a room and not let out until they index the 51 terabytes. It's crap that she has to file multiple discovery requests and prosecution fees. 100%, Andrew. And again, if you haven't already subscribed to Mr. Myers, please do so. And yes, so that is how that went. Quadruple homicide was then confirmed. Also mention, they're saying that in amongst all this information that was coming through them, there was mention of a Fent OD situation. Their son was told this, but law enforcement obviously clarified that's not the case. And when they told them, they said, "Oh, just give us a ring tomorrow. Give us a bell tomorrow. There's nothing you can do now." So they were like, "What the actual fuck? You've just told us that our child has been murdered, and now it's a case of, nah, boy, there's nothing you can do. Chill out for the evening and come see us tomorrow." So obviously that's when they all kind of just sprung into action then. Sprung into action. Olivia got hold of a load of information, like the corner club, grub truck footage, details of the Lyft driver. It sounds like early on it was the Goncalves family who had found a lot of information about people and handed that information over. And we kind of know that behind the scenes there was a lot of this happening. We know, like, even the Linda Lane footage was seemingly Brett Norton potentially, so, and Steve Goncalves. So let me just, I know that Dope wants a countdown update. I haven't seen her ours, but I know 998. We need 2 more subscribers for 75,000. How about that? 2 more, and then we can go 3, 2, 1. Boo! Yeah. So, where am I? Fucking mouse going across 2 screens. Yeah, so they dealt with getting a lot of information. They were not told about manner of death either until the autopsies were completed. I kind of half understand that. But yeah, they weren't actually told how this all came about until the autopsies were completed. And that's kind of when Christy turned around and thought, hold on a second, fuck, there's a murder on the loose. Do you know what I mean? She's kind of didn't even think about that. Hello, Joe. Hello, you guys who have come in. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Not because of me, because Dope will tear you a new one. She will go mental. And you don't want to upset her. You don't want to upset her. I didn't even have to ask. I know, though. I'm fucking on the ball tonight. I am on the ball. I keep forgetting which way the mouse goes. The laptop should be on that side, so the mouse goes like that, but it don't. I move the mouse across that screen, and then it fucking appears over there. I agree that Christy and Steve being pissed at the system. There was a death of a young sibling in my family decades ago, and I'm still pissed at the system. I'm sorry to hear that, Andrew. And I've seen it here myself. I've seen it. It's not until you walk the system that you understand the frustrations of it. But, yeah, so what else happened? Right, so yeah, Christy was like, then I kind of thought, there's a murder on the loose. Down the Rabbit Hole to Hell was gifted a membership by Karen, Texas. Karen, Texas gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much, Karen. Audrey got one. Kelly O'Shea got one. Miranda got one. Down the Rabbit Hole to Hell got one. I think that's everyone who got one. Yes, thank you so much to the people who are gifted memberships. Thank you. So then they had the cremation celebration of life to deal with, all kind of on top of getting all of this information in. So they had a lot to deal with, a lot to tackle. And again, I can't say enough. I appreciate that. Regardless of anything, I appreciate that fully. Jack helped find out a lot of information surrounding the case, such as who was in videos, looking at people in photos, etc. You can imagine what that information would have gone down like if that would have been made public right at the end of the day, because it sounds like Jack was pointing at people. Yeah, that's you are going to speak to them. You are going to speak to them. Definitely going to speak to them. That so and so. But Steve said, you know what I mean? They didn't really know a lot about Kaylee's life. They'd see photographs and perhaps see him with someone's arm around them or whatever, but they didn't know who people were. So it was really about deciphering, all right, who was really involved and who was a peripheral. Nevada, Christy, member for 1 month. Love it hair been way longer than a month. Yeah, I don't know what happens with the memberships, to be fair. That's crazy. 75,000 subscribers. That is mental. Like I say, we did take a bit of a hit, I must admit. We did take a bit of a hit. 75,003, as we had a little bit of drama. I wouldn't say that it was my fault there was drama. Probably my fault I bit on it. I should have just fucking let it drop, but you know what I mean. Why did they bring her political affiliation? We'll get there. Yeah, I don't really understand that myself. Let me just push them up. So this is where they then went into talking a little bit about Kaylee, and I think it sort of sat home then, not that people are stupid and don't realise that she was a real person, but it was nice to hear her family just kind of talking about her. Said Kaylee was feisty, she would always stick up for friends, and I put a note here, does that kind of factor into the injuries sustained? They kind of say that she was fucking headstrong, you know what I mean? And she a feisty little fucker, would stick up for her friends, go into battle for them. And I kind of thought, when you hear about the injuries that was sustained, especially Kaylee, you wonder whether she was trying to protect her friend. And is that why she seemingly got the injuries that she did? Was she actually there trying to protect Maddie? It's an interesting thing, do you know what I mean? It's just something that I've thought about. Did we get to 75? We did. We've surpassed it, Dope. Where have you been? And this is the noise for the celebrations. I will have like other things set up so I could have fireworks and everything, but I'll get that done. Ready for 100,000 subscribers in about 5 years. Right, so what do we got? So feisty. She was feisty, stuck up with her friends. others' rants. True subscribers will not worry about others' rants. So to be fair, it weren't so much about other people's rants. It was more about the fact that I probably bit on it and brought it onto the channel, and I probably shouldn't have done that. But when someone's talking shit, sometimes you have to say something about it. I'm not doing it anymore. People can say what they want. I'm ignoring it. I'm just going to ignore it. Right, so here we go. Why is that doing that? I'm just going to try and do something to that screen and see whether that loads up properly. I don't know what it's doing. Ah, here we go. That seems to be working all right now up there. Don't know. With all respect to everyone here, can someone tell me how Kaylee was stabbed 50 plus times but found sitting up in bed? You don't get those injuries sitting up in bed. Again, it's just something that we can only speculate on. Are the ads running? It shouldn't even have ads on. That should warn me if there's an ad. If I catch the warning, I'll skip the ads. I'll skip them. It should warn me. That's probably because that up there wasn't working properly. That should now work properly. But let me just see if I can click that delay. Yeah, we can put a delay by the look of it. That should warn me. It should warn me. But anyway, let me continue. Smart from a young age, determined and business orientated. They went into a story about, that if she wanted something, she'd get something. Do you know what I mean? She might ask, "Hey, harsh wise man said you can't control what people say to you. You can only control how you react to it." That being said, I've been in a lot of fights, so what the fuck do I know? Yeah. So she was very, very money orientated. She was money orientated. She wanted to get out there, get paid. She wanted to get paid, and we'll stick a pin in that for now. Kaylee was like Stitch. They said she was like Stitch. Absolute crazy in comparison to her mild-mannered siblings. I know exactly how she feels, especially we've got 5 children around us, do you know what I mean? There's always that one child that you think, fuck me, if you'd have come on first, there wouldn't have been any others. You'd have been an only kid. The downside is they generally come last, so you've got them to deal with and the others. But that's... if you're a parent, you know exactly where I'm coming from. That was quite funny. When I was younger, my mate, he had twins. And he'd always come out and he'd bring one of the twins with, not both, one. And we'd like say, "Oh, that's your favourite one." He's like, "Nah, boy, I don't have favourites. They're my children." It's like, stop bringing the same one with you then. Not even like you could say, well, he's obviously bringing a better looking one. They were like identical twins. But, hello, Criminal Med. Hello. She was into conspiracy theory. It was conservative. Steve said that she was a hustler as well. She was a hustler. Hustler. Good word. In fact, I'd say that was fucking poor choice of words. Calling your daughter, who people have been questioning in social media, how she got to pay for a Range Rover and stuff, and you're out there saying she was a hustler. Good one. Not just that she was a worker and got everything above board and just went out and got a job. She was a hustler. Good one, dummy. Congrats, Harsh. 75,000 strong and growing. Thank you very much, Liz. That is very kind of you to say. We got there in the end. Thank you. Yeah, I was that child in my family. Mountain Mama. Children, fun work, lots of energy. Yeah, don't they just? That's quite funny when you've got multiple children, though, the way some of them are so different. And like I say, you do get that one that you think if you did come first, you'd have been last. But yes, he was talking about her being a hustler and very conservative in her belief construct. So yeah, like someone quite rightly pointed out earlier, I don't really know why he brought her political affiliations up with, but he did. And she was into conspiracy theories, abductions, and had concerns about the way in which the world was heading. She was interested in that. Do you know what I mean? She was interested in it. And again, that kind of made me raise my eyebrows a bit, because I kind of thought to myself, so another way of saying that is that someone could be perhaps putting their nose in perhaps somewhere where it shouldn't have been wanted or weren't wanted. Again, I'm always thinking along the lines of Brian Goberger, regardless of how you feel about Brian, and as we work through this, there'll be some things that gets brought up. But I think to myself, he's still entitled to the presumption of innocence, and if you give him that, then surely you have to, on the flip side of it, subscribe to this channel. Do it now, please and thank you. You may now return to the regularly scheduled program, and thank you very much, Dope. Thank you, and smash like, hit like. I don't know how many likes we got. What is it? We've got 253 likes and 493 people in here. What are you doing? What are you doing? Killing me. She probably she would have had her own news. Yes, she probably would have done. Thank you very much for the congrats, Christine, and anyone else who I've missed. I will come into chat later when we've gone through these notes and have a back and forward. If one of the Idaho 4 was a hustler, don't you think someone would have sold their story to one of the tabloids for big dollars? A John, a pimp, anyone? Yeah, like I say, it was a strange choice of words. But again, I think too much into things. What I call it, paralysis by analysis. But yeah, I just thought... How's reality? We all have a favourite child. Mine happens to be the neighbour's kid. The one that you can give back. The one that you can give back. Yeah, it says Kaylee worked from home. They went on to say how her and her sister were like best friends, do you know what I mean? So they'd both work from home and they'd both be on the thing together, like working together with their chat in the background. They want the trial to come so that the stories end so the siblings are not exposed to it. Yeah, which I can appreciate that fully. They're kind of saying that that's one thing that, with the trial being pushed away, they the talk about it's still there, and it's what they're getting exposed to. They don't have to be exposed to it. They could just not fucking watch it. You make a choice what you want to watch, don't you? You know what I mean? Yeah, smash that like button or I'll smash you. I did used to have that on a scroller thing, but I deleted it. I thought that was a little bit too threatening. I might bring it back, but bigger. New logos, updated merch shop. Yes, we do. Don't feel obliged, though. Yes, so, yeah, I understand that, but the flip side of the coin is you choose what you want to watch. If you know shit's going to be all over it, don't go looking for it. And if you see something, just think, fuck it, there's going to be a load of shit anyway. Family in pain, dealing with loss, new babies at young age 16. Yeah, so they was obviously talking about this. And I've put McDona speaks about how the court process doesn't consider the feelings of the families. Well, it's very structured, isn't it? The system shouldn't really take anyone's feelings into consideration, really, and they're saying, it doesn't take the feelings of the family into consideration. But again, if you want a non-biased system, I found that was a fucking stupid statement to make. If you're taking the feelings of people into consideration, then you're leaning into that bias almost, aren't you? You're doing things off the back end of being reactive to someone's feelings, and you've got to detach yourself from that. The system has to be detached from that, or it's biased, and it would be biased. So that's stupid. And again, what I will say is with regards to Chris McDonough. Like, I know some people are like, oh, you can't say bad things about Chris McDonough. Look, I don't like Chris McDonough. I apologise to those who do. And what I will say is I appreciate the fact that Chris McDonough does have access to things that can be useful now. He can bring information out and he can do good work. Him as a person, I find him a bit of a conundrum based on the fact that he talks about things like this, yet he spent all of his work and life in law enforcement, and during that time, he himself was involved in utilising methodology such as the Reed method, and he was involved in the abstraction of false confessions out of people, including a minor, which was Michael Crow. And in addition to that, he completely decimated the life of an individual who he wrongfully accused of being Brian Laundrie in the Gabby Petito case, another content creator that actually cost him his channel for some time, Chris McDonough, but he got it back, and he never even fucking apologised. So that's why I don't like him. But I fully appreciate the skill that he has in doing what he does now, and maybe he can help people. But it is what it is, and, you know, that's just the sort of person I am. That's it. I thought hustler was a con art. Yeah, it's just not a good word to use. I know it's a word that is kind of used nowadays, but thank you to the new members. Liz Paganucci, I think I got that right. See, I've got a bit of Italian in me, you see, Liz, so I should get that right. She'll be turning around saying, that's not fucking Italian, you idiot. Please do a little more research about the Crow case and Chris. There's a film on it. I believe there's actually a film out on it. But we have talked about it in the past. But I can do it again. I'm not fussed. I can do it again. That's like 134 cuss words times 25 cents. Yeah, you won't want to put a tip jar on me, I'll tell you that. Not tip jar, like a swear jar. The One Joe, you're doing great work. Thank you very much, The One Joe. I appreciate that. Agree, I don't like him. I'm sure he was good. And again, he is law enforcement through and through. Liz Paganucci, you got it. Thank you very much. I ain't too bad at that. Like I say, I have my connections. Hustler in his culture is a hard worker making money. Yeah. Like I say, it's not in everyone's culture, though, and certainly something that can be misconstrued online. And again, in the context that it's in, and with the questions that are already out there, you'd have thought he may have thought about that. But I appreciate we can all say things out of turn. But anyway, what do we got? Then he turns around and says, Steve makes a statement that there are so many things he wants to say but cannot. Now, he's not under the gag order. This is something that this was doing my head in. This was. You know, it annoys me when people talk about these cases, like Chris McDonough, for instance, big channel, who he is, but it seems that half of them don't watch what's going on or don't know what's going on. Now, the family are not under a gag order. The family can say whatever they want. You know, Shannon Gray, because of his position, he's under a gag order. But the family, they're not. They are not under a gag order whatsoever. So I repeat, they can say whatever they want about anything. But Steve specifically said that there's so many things he wants to say but cannot. He speaks about the caution with regards to what they seemingly can and cannot do, but expresses that there was no caution with regards to the demolition of the house. Caution was just thrown to the wind. And he did go on about this. Harsh can say anything he wants, including cuss words. Yeah. So you see, what you see here is just me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't turn around and be a different person on this platform for you guys. I don't fake who I am to be on here. Like, the amount of people who say, oh, you shouldn't swear or whatever. But if I didn't have a potty mouth, or I cleaned up my language, it wouldn't be me. I'd be being fake. Do you know what I mean? And then I'll have people who was like, oh, he's nice, he doesn't swear or anything. I'd be lying to them. And I am as straight as they come. I worked on a loading dock after HS. My swear jar would be a ship full of containers. Yeah, that'd be nuts, wouldn't it? Dope Soul is after 77 more likes. 77 more likes. There's got to be some in there. There must be someone you really dislike. Imagine the like button is like an eyeball of a person that you don't like and just poke them in the eye. Or get one of them party noisemakers where that hits them in the eye. Patty is gifted a membership. And Marianne R. was the recipient of said membership. Hello, Erin. Hello, Erin. And like I say, I will get back into chat, but let's swiftly move on, or we'll be here till tomorrow morning. Community needs to heal. Cannot understand why some things go quick and other things they just drag their feet. It's just because that's the system. Steve accuses Ann Taylor of being the one that wanted the gag order and then broke the gag order and feels that they are being punished with further delays because of Ann Taylor. And I'll tell you what, Ann Taylor didn't break the gag order. Okay? Every time you say balls deep, it catches me off guard. Or wetter than an otter's pocket. Do you know what I mean? She didn't break the gag order. Yes, she may not have said things that people want her to say. The questions may, in some people's opinions, have been, flying close to the sun. Do you know what I mean? But it's what she got in a professional firm who does this. Do you know what I mean? Jeff H of a super chat. Thank you very much, Jeff H. I see you talking into the proper side of your microphone. Sucks to see the cables on the back, but it sounds great. Yes. Because of all of the other mics I have, Jeff, are like dynamic mics. I don't generally use these sort of cardioid pattern ones. I don't use them. And I looked down and I thought, that looks absolute shit, that must go the other way. And actually the tilt feature on it, the tilt as well tilts towards you when it's turned the other way. So it even makes it look like the whole thing is back to front. But yeah, I'm using it right. Good spot. I might go back to the SM7B, but I like this because it's quite small. Where the other one, it's quite intrusive. I think this would hold the SM7B, but that's got some weight in it. But I thought I'd have a change. I think this sounds all right, actually. All praise the gifters. Yes, all praise the gifters, indeed. But thank you, Jeff. Thank you. Where are we? Yeah, do you know what I mean? She didn't break the gag order. She didn't break it. She said things that some people are not going to like. I get that. But the information that they're allowed to speak on is information that's out in the public arena. They can speak about it. They can talk about it. You look darker tonight, Harsh. Yeah, it's because I've got this BenQ Halo light bar. But when I turn it on, look, it lights... But it's not doing it now. For some reason, it kind of does it there. The camera is overexposing on the hand, and that annoys me. It's like I've got glowy up hands. So I actually turn it off. So I'm like that. I could, I suppose, turn that. I could turn it on and turn it down. Or is that making it even brighter? I think that's making it fucking brighter. No, that's the temperature. I think that's the brightness. So if I turn that down, yeah, that's the brightness. So we can bring that down a bit. It's not quite so bad. But now it's just annoying me. And if I do it on that, if I do it on auto, that'll set that light automatically. But I think that still plays up on my hand. Yeah, I don't like it. Fuck that. Yeah, but they're good. If you work at a desk in the night, Harsh, love your content, but a lot of people like myself think Brian is innocent, and then roommates know what happened. We'll come to that. I'm not saying Brian Koberger is guilty, by the way. I'm not a guilter. But yeah, if you work by a screen, by the way, if you work and you work at night, I can highly recommend the. Glad you aren't flying a plane, Harsh. Yeah, I'll just turn that off. I've been watching these channels that document plane crashes. I think it's like one's called Green Dot Aviation or something. Very interesting, but you don't want to fly after watching them. But yeah, I wouldn't be very good in a plane. What was that? Yeah, anyway, for the third time. If you work at a screen, I can highly recommend the BenQ Halo light bar. You get like this. This is wireless, and you can control the light of it. So that turns it on, and then you can adjust it as all automatic features and stuff like that. But yeah, it's pretty good. It just stops you going blind when you've got a screen in front of you. Apart from when you've got a key light in front of you, that burns your eyes out. But anyway, right, Steve talks about the Victims' Bill of Rights in Idaho and places that against the Alibi situation, stating that they have looked into other cases that this time frame has long passed. I find it interesting, however, that he's not interested in whether BK could potentially have an alibi. Yeah, so he's talking about the fact that with respect to the Alibi situation, there's no other case that he can even find where they've allowed this much time in getting an alibi back in. I can appreciate his frustration, I really can, but he's kind of at not any point, and this is going to fucking spin you out as well if you didn't hear this. So Steve also complains about BK being dressed in a suit to look good. Christy turns around and says, yeah, he's like a real human. To my response is, he is a fucking real human. They haven't dressed him to look like one. He is actually a real human. And I appreciate the fact that it's very difficult for them to detach from the... I just can't help. I'm caught between a rock and a hard place. Do you know what I mean? Because the way this went, I felt like I watched lots of air crash investigations, including Green Dot Aviation's content. I love flying though. Yeah, it's a brilliant channel. That is Green Dot. Love it. There's a few good ones, but that is really good. If you want to watch plane crashes, go watch that. Just watch it after you've been on one. But yeah, I just got this vibe that it's almost like they have seen something or they've been made privy to something that absolutely undeniably says it's Brian Koberger. Because if they haven't seen that and they're behaving in this way for no apparent reason, then I can't help but feel, because they've flip-flopped, do you know what I mean? Steve Goncalves has flip-flopped from just wanting the thing to go properly and to get a proper outcome, and if this is the guy, this is the guy. But this has gone the other way again. This is like, oh, he's 100% doing it, and this whole process, it's just fucking, it's just delaying inevitability, do you know what I mean? And this gets fucking worse, this section, right? So I put, they're clearly balls deep in BK's guilt. McDona leans into this, which he does. He's proper leaning into it. And he should, in his position as well, be, I get it. My first live Harsh, too, it's awesome. I happened to see this interview yesterday. Hello, Erin Sings again. Hello. Yeah, he should be saying, look, the presumption of it. Not once does he do that. No, he ain't going to do that, is he? Ain't going to do that. Further says he simply further says he will continue to dig into things, like Chris McDona is saying, yeah, we'll carry on looking. Steve states it was the killer, this bit here, it's quite interesting. Steve states it was the killer looking at one of the victims and said, I am here to help you. he states that this is malice. So I don't know whether he's been confirmed that that's that, or he has just listened to what is out in the media, and he has decided that that's exactly how that went, that it was indeed the killer that said it, and he was looking at a victim when he said it. Do you know what I mean? It's he put that out there. Yeah, he put that out there. They compare how Murdoch, the multi-millionaire lawyer, was treated in comparison. They say, due to his money and his background, you would have expected him to be given the benefit of the doubt. Steve doesn't like BK getting treated better than Murdoch. Fucking hell. Murdoch, and bear this in mind, let's just step back a minute. Back. That trial's fucking over. That trial is over. And that guy, Murdoch, has been proven guilty, sentenced, subsequently been pulled back out, found out more fucking crafty, crazy shit that he's done, and been fucking sent back in with another 40 years to the can. But they're like saying BK's being tracked better than him. That's not right. He's a proven fucking killer who killed his wife and child. Fucking mental. Absolutely mental. Who else do they have if it's not Brian? And I don't think it is B. We'll speak about that at the end. Do you know what I mean? The guy could be guilty. I see, is it Elizabeth Hare saying, love you, Harsh, but do feel BK is guilty. And we can coexist. Do you know what I mean? This isn't if you think Brian Koberger's guilty, fuck off. I ain't one of them. Do you know what I mean? It's not. Because he could be guilty, 100%. My issues that I have is that I just haven't seen enough. I just haven't seen enough to be convinced myself beyond a reasonable doubt. Have I seen enough to make myself think, there's stuff that they got our answer to, there's some weird stuff in there, yeah, but there isn't enough to make me, I won't put money on it, I won't put a large sum of money on it. Definitely not. And I bet there's a few of you, even the people who feel that he's probably guilty, you wouldn't put your life savings on it still. But yeah, so don't like the fact he's getting treated better than Murdoch, even though Murdoch is a convicted killer of his son and wife, and multiple millions of money taken from people. Bit weird. Right, not sure, but it sounded like Christie stated that Maddie had just bought a house. So if you listen to the interview on Chris McDonagh's interview, if you listen from 49 minutes dead through to 49 minutes and 50 seconds, during that period, Christie is talking about the fact that there's things that they'll never get to see. But they do say that Maddie had just bought a house. She says Maddie just bought a house, but then very abruptly cut off. And I thought, that's going to get fed on, that is. What do I think of it? I don't know whether she has, obviously, but I think that would start raising questions again. People are going to be like, when they know that there's money that's being questioned and how many bank accounts they had and all this, and then you're dropping in there that, Kaylee's a hustler, Maddie bought a house, coming down and showing the Range Rover off and stuff like this that's been going out there. I said I may have misinterpreted this, but Christie stated Maddie had just bought a house. They talk about the lack of outreach. Shannon Gray then comes in. This is 53 minutes in that Shannon Gray then comes in, so that's the notes up to the 53 minutes mark. There isn't a massive amount left because there was bits that we don't need to hear about. Steve criticises the judge for not having a list of actions and deadlines, which this bit I do completely agree with Steve. When they go into the courtroom, they should have a plan of action. But in the last hearing, Judge did turn around and say, we'll have a meeting every so often if we need to. Do you know? But yeah, there's been a lot. it's been a lot of hair. It's like the Discovery. Do you know what I mean? This has been Anne Taylor asking for Discovery, not getting it, setting up a hearing, forcing them. It's just been a joke. If you've got all of the evidence that crucifies my client, just send me the fucking stuff. Let's crack on. Do you know what I mean? That's the issue that I have. This hasn't been Anne Taylor's doing, from what we can see. This is Anne Taylor asking for Discovery and them not giving her it. But, I don't know, the judge seems flippant. Don't he fucking judge? That's an understatement, that is. He's almost fucking laughing when he's in there at Anne Taylor. He would not get away with that with some attorneys. She's female and she's going in there and they're fucking laughing at her. They are laughing at her. It's quite fucking painful to watch. I'm surprised that she puts up with it. She should have ripped them a new arsehole the other time she was in there, the last time she was in there, but she didn't. She's laying back and nearly laughing. I'm just going to start talking about the money situation in a second. So Christie talks about the 51 terabytes of information and states that if Anne has to go through it all, then it's never going to get done. She states, on the other hand, that Anne feels she must go through it as she desperately tries to find something to save her client. But she shouldn't have to go through the 51 terabytes, Christie, should she? The 51 terabytes doesn't represent evidence against Brian Koberger. It represents the entire evidence data, all of the photos that were taken, all of the video footage that was pulled in from cameras all over the fucking shop. Do you know what I mean? Loads and loads of documents. It's everything. 51 terabytes is everything. It's not just... And some people were saying to me the other day, they were like saying, how do you know there's not 51 terabytes? I'll tell you why, because I've got over 1,000, I think I've got over 1,500 videos on here, all 99% of them in 4K resolution, and that doesn't even add up to 51 terabytes. Not half of that, not a quarter of it. That is some serious data, and it doesn't represent. It's everything. It's everything, and she shouldn't have to go for everything. It shouldn't work that way. It should be, we're here because you're accusing my client. Can you show us the evidence that you've got against him, please? Thank you very much. There you go. And she's saying, literally weeks ago, saying, I don't know why my client is here. There's no link between him and the victims. There should be by now. There should be a link between him and the victim. She should have seen that by now, at the very fucking least. Follow the money, $1 million plus. And there's more coming on that. Chris McDona says they've been digging into that quite a lot, where this money has been going. I feel that there's going to be some stuff coming up about this. Whether there's almost like an accusation here of misappropriation of funds. House tear down. They found out the day before the house was coming down as well. Obviously, it had been going backwards and forwards about that they wanted to take the house down, but it sounds like they didn't actually know it was coming down, that it was actually earmarked to come down, and literally until the day before. And they believe that was strategic. They knew that as soon as they were told that the families, the Goncalves family especially, and it sounds like was it the Mogan family as well, wanted the house to stay up. But yeah, they couldn't do anything about it. Couldn't do it. Shannon Gray and Christie both stated that this was a strategic move by the University of Idaho to leave the notice so late that it could not be challenged, due to previously reaching out and explaining the emotional importance of the property and the importance of the property with respect of the trial. Decisions on that house apparently were being made way before the house came down. Now, if you go on, this might just be something, I don't know, but if you go on to Google search and type in Bailey Apartments, in fact, if I just click on here, Let me go on here. I might be able to do it here. Bailey Apartments, Idaho, Moscow. Let me see if that brings that up. But here we go. So if I bring this up to you guys, is that going to bring that up? Yeah. So if you search Bailey Apartments, Idaho, Moscow, and look here, it says address 1122 King Road, Moscow. Now, someone might have just added that in. This might just be something that someone's been able to add. Probably this person, the Google review. Got stabbed a few times, party were cool though. Now, I don't know whether this is real or something that's completely made up. But yeah, it's interesting. I found it interesting. Even if it was someone's attempt at kind of making a bit of a joke out of it all. But Bailey Apartments, named after Emma Bailey. Maybe she is opening her own apartment complex. But, so decisions on that house being made before, right. So the Memorial Garden, this is where they were talking about the Memorial Garden, marketed as for Idaho 4, Durham funded, and then morphed into a more general loss memorial. So so basically they utilised the name of the Idaho 4 victims. They went balls deep into that sort of marketing campaign and maximised on revenue to the tune of around $800,000. And then once they'd got the money, it was kind of, oh well, what we'll do, we'll make it kind of, for everyone. What's this? Range Rover. I think Harsh forgot to do a video on the Range Rover, video 360 surround live feeds. Yeah, I didn't do anything on that. I didn't think there was anything in that Range Rover information myself. Let's have a look. So the $1 million, $600K on consultants, but they won't give the information on how it was spent. Supposed to be used for emergencies and expenses. Some people involved believed it was due to be going to the victims' families. I believe there should be an IRS audit. $3,700 for counselling. So out of $1 million, and they're saying that the house needs to come down and they've got to take the house down because we need to heal. People are suffering to the tune of $3,700 worth of counselling. And I just put, what the actual fuck? Rush, everything. Take down the house, take down everything. Rush, trial. Let's not rush. There'll be money here somewhere. Scott Green has not reached out to the parents either. They said Scott Green has not reached out to the family at all. Don't know whether he's reached out to any of the other families. I would imagine he's probably spoke to the Chapin family, but he definitely ain't reached out to the Goncalves family. Can't think why, but you would think that he would. I know why he hasn't, but you'd think that he would. Shannon Gray stated that the University of Idaho is arrogant. He said they're arrogant. University of Idaho is saying us, and how they are being affected and give us money. When in reality, the murder didn't happen on their site. It happened in private residence that was being rented by their students, yes, but it weren't on their site at all. And the argument there was, we're getting involved and we're getting, all over it like we are because they're students. And their argument was, yeah, but we're parents. We're the parents. So why are you, who was just the university, why do you know stuff that we don't know? Why are you given priority over us? Fuck knows. Told they must be involved because they were students, Steve asked. Well, how do you know more than us? We're the damn parents. Scott Green's book, the legislator around the funding. So this is one of the legislators who was around the $1 million. This is actually, they reckon that this guy was not one of the ones who agreed to the funding, but he was involved in it. He didn't even know Scott Green had released a book talking about the murders. And they're apparently now looking into this book. I think that's Chris McDona and co. They're looking into where the money from this book is actually going. I can tell you where it's going. Scott Green's big fat pocket. Why does Chris McDona keep saying the families are under a gag order when they're not? I've obviously, at this point, I've thought, why does he keep fucking saying that? And the book was put into motion 3 weeks after the murder. So 3 weeks, take this, 3 weeks after the murders, this book was already in motion. The team had been acquired, everyone involved in it had already been acquired, and the ball was hitting that book hit the ground running. What do you think to that? 3 weeks after. He's on the ball, boy. Strike while the iron's hot. Chris McDona raises how the book could damage the case and help the defence. They're talking about, again, gag order situation. We're criticising Ann Taylor and their questions, but ultimately they're talking about the same sort of shit in this book. So there you go. You can't accuse one and not accuse the other. Shannon Gray confirms the family can talk about whatever they want. Has the book violated the non-dissemination order? They further questioned the FBI having to return to do 3D imaging. Right, obviously we know that they're done imaging. They said that the house won't need it anymore, so okay, it can come down. We're all done and dusted with it. But literally, just before it was pulled down, the FBI are back at the scene, doing more 3D rendering of the property, and they pointed out, like, when the FBI actually went back to that property to do that modelling again and taking the measurements, etc., the van that turned up that let them in was a van that was owned by the University of Idaho's facilities department, and that had down the side of it University of Idaho's facilities. So they were controlling that entire crime scene. Even then, it was the university. So who the fuck let them have it? Do you know what I mean? It's the University of Idaho were controlling the crime scene of a quadruple homicide that they have been all over. Scary stuff, mate. Scary stuff. University of Idaho seemingly have had their hands all over this case and been in cahoots with law enforcement from very early on. University issues will be looked into later, states Shannon Gray. I actually wrote Shannon Green. That's because I had Scott Green on my brain. But Shannon Gray, 50 Shades of. Yeah, he's. It sounds to me like they're going to sue the University of Idaho. That's the feeling, the vibe that I got. They are pissed with this university. They're waiting to get a court date, waiting to make sure all the ducks in a row, and I reckon they're going to go for the University of Idaho. University issues will be looked into after. I believe the Goncalves family may likely look to sue the University of Idaho. Christie makes a statement that a lot of weird things are happening around this case. I just put, yeah, the fucking money. That's the way it's always follow the money. The Goncalves family will go after the University of Idaho when the time is right, states Shannon Gray. They spoke about the fact, did inexperienced cops cause issues in this case? Who knows? Chris states that the judge needs to grab the bull by the horns. He's confident they have the evidence and the right guy, so just get on with this instead of just kicking it like a can down the road. And then we had them like a sign off. They just said thank you for their support, thank you for the support, thank you to everyone, continue to support them, showed gratitude to everyone who has followed them, and God bless. And that was it. That was that heron. That was that heron. So let me close that off now, get this information back up, and we have gone to 75,009 subscribers. There you go, dope. We are well over. We're over. And the smashing the like. I don't know where we are with that. Where are we? 459 likes. Yeah, with 3 thumbs down, so we'll subtract. So 456, and we've got 605 people in. I know I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I'm not seeing the same evidence that these people are seeing. Like I say, Jeff, and I don't know how you guys... thank you very much for becoming a member, Pretty Bug. And Betty as well. Elizabeth Betty. Yeah, it gives you a vibe that they know more. Do you know what I mean? They know more than what they're saying. And when they're flat out saying, oh, there's things that we know what we just can't say, do you know what I mean? It gives you that vibe. And I just feel that's quite dangerous, because people listen to this family. They listen to this family. They take what they say as gospel. And I just hope that if they are saying that they're saying it because they genuinely have seen something. But even that in itself is dangerous. Do you know what I mean? It is dangerous. 3 people put their thumbs down. 3 people. Probably people who are unhappy with my language. But that's all I can say about it. Do you know what I mean? I have to kind of think to myself, you know, if Brian Koberger's guilty, if he did this, if he's guilty, he's the guy, then I hope that he gets caught. Do you know what I mean? I hope that he gets caught. I hope that he gets found, you know, guilty, and I hope that he's punished to the full extent of the law. If he is proven that he's done it beyond a reasonable doubt, I get it. But at this stage, I personally haven't seen enough to say I'm happy from a beyond a reasonable doubt. I'm happy to listen to the people who turn around and say, I believe that he's guilty, but I do need to see more before it's, you know, beyond a reasonable doubt. I just feel it. I feel he's guilty. I've seen enough, and I feel there's enough there in my mind to think, you know what, I'm pretty sure he did it. But for anybody to be turning around at this stage and saying, I'm 100% sure he definitely did it and he deserves to die, I think that's where you kind of overstepped a little bit, because I don't feel there's enough evidence to 100%. And it's like the Karen Reed case. Like, you look at the Karen Reed situation. Like, how many people will be sitting here now and thinking, well, Karen Reed's being stitched up. She's being stitched up, this is an absolute stitch up. So if she's being stitched up, how can someone not be able to be stitched up in another case? Is it just because Brian Koberger looks weird and Karen Reed looks semi-normal, or do you know what I mean? You can't think this person's getting fitted up and this one's not. It's the same with Richard Allen. There'll be people who think Richard Allen's innocent, and when you look at the fucking craziness around that, it is possible that the bloody guy didn't do it, or there was a lot more people involved, so there's a lot of people who walk from it. But with the Brian Koberger, so many people are just flat out, it is what it is. It's simple. It's he did it. He definitely did it. And they forget the little nuances of the case. Do you know what I mean? They forget that they weren't looking for a car that matched Brian Koberger's. They just weren't. They were looking for a car that was older. Not that there's a lot of aesthetic, but they flat out said that it was 2011, 2013. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. There's things around here that, in my mind, there's bias everywhere. It's a very biased situation at the moment, and the Goncalves family, in my opinion, they perpetuated what could be huge bias out there. Do you know what I mean? People who are watching this case, they are interested in listening to what this family has to say. And when they're turning around and saying the things that they're saying, that is so damaging. So damaging. Do you know what I mean? And I just hope you're caught between the devil and the deep blue sea, because on one hand you think to yourself, I genuinely hope that if he is going out there and he's going on to channels that these videos could get 100,000 plus views, just that one, not to mention the channels that will do a video off of the videos and further promote that. Do you know what I mean? The reach. They're talking about this 400 fucking people who were contacted by Ann Taylor's company, you know, Alderman. 400 people. We're talking about people reaching out to hundreds of thousands of people, and you've got Steve Goncalves flat out saying, we know that he did it. We know that he did it. We just get on with it. Get on with it. There's loads of things that we wish we could say, but we can't. Do you know? Are you fucking joking me? And I like the guy. Do you know what I mean? As a father, I can understand that he's lost his child. But, you know, for someone who is they want justice for their child, which I genuinely hope they get it. I genuinely hope they do. It's shit like that that's going to cause problems. But there you go. Chris, you said 113 pieces of evidence. But how is everyone? What is people's thoughts? Before we wrap up, because we overshot slightly, this is probably one of the longest lives I've ever done. But what do we got? We've got 510 thumbs up. That is absolutely amazing. I can't do that, but I can do this. There we go. Well done. We had, there you go. Did I see something about a phone call being released? No, what that was, it was attempts of the media trying to get people to click on their stories. So they market it as phone call released. But what they were talking about was that someone had reached out to law enforcement who Alderman's company had spoken to about this survey. They had recorded the conversation and sent it to what the prosecution obviously got. So no, it hasn't been released to the public. It got released to law enforcement, who then subsequently handed it over to the prosecution and said, this is what people have been, this is the conversation that's being had. Everyone tell him don't shut down yet. I don't like keeping people here for longer than they need to. For longer than they need to. Marley's not in this room. I shut him out. And the cat. And that damn cat. That cat is annoying. Don't go yet. Harsh, you listening? Yeah, I'm listening. Don't go yet. What do you want to talk about? That was that. Yo, H, hold on. I'm holding on. What's happening? It's like I'm going to get thrown. Yeah, I made it. It's been so long since something is off with that family too. Christy let rip while Steve is coy. Christy's description of Kaylee's different than Steve's. Like I say, I know they're going through, but they've got pain, do you know what I mean? They're in pain, and I feel that they're kind of lashing out and they're saying stuff, but it's just, I think they've got to appreciate that there's a lot of people that listen to them. And it's going to hurt someone. We want this to be fair. 100% want it to be fair. And so when it all finishes, it's done. But there we go. The Gormwins found. Lights going up. 536. They're going, how's it? Nearly or everybody. We've got 561 people in, and we've got 536 likes. Thank you very much. But yeah, they said something about a winner for 500 likes, did they? Shall we, I won't do it now because I can't. It would be unfair to try and do it. I will give on the next, let me think. What am I doing? On Thursday. What day is it today? Tuesday. On Thursday, when I do the live on Thursday, I will give an item of merch away from the new design, the newest, which is a match of this logo in this bottom corner here. I will give an item of the merch stock away. I know some people from Australia, we don't post. You can't order off of there and send to Australia. I am looking into that because I believe that the merch shop does actually have a place in Australia. It's just that they're independent from the they're independent from the UK one. But there we go. Mods already did it. Someone's out. Thank you, Dope. Thank you. But no, I am on Thursday. On Thursday, I will do another giveaway. I will give an item of merch away. So keep your eyes peeled for Thursday, and I'll do it live. I'll see if I can somehow do a spinny wheel thing. Who do I report trolls to? I don't want to report to YouTube. You can email me, Maddie. You can email me. My email's in the description. I saw that clickbait title and thought the same thing. Yeah. Great live, got here late and need to catch up. Yes. But that's it. I think we're done. I think we're done. I don't want to keep you here any longer than you need to be. I'm not one of these people who just go on and on and on. The Water Tower live video feed. I've not seen it, mate. I've not seen it. Comments. If driving around makes me an unaliver, we are. Yeah, I used to do it. I've said. I did. Up to just before the lockdown, I would drive around at night. And I haven't killed anybody. Well, I've not been caught. Only joking. I haven't. No, I mean I haven't. Not. I have been caught. I gave you a picture. I want that hoodie. I need to sort them out. I'll sort that out. Get here on Thursday. Be here Thursday. We'll do a live Thursday night, and I will do it. I appreciate the shorter lives, but I always wish yours were a bit longer. They go so quick, don't they? Like an hour and 20 minutes. But there we go. Be here Thursday. Thank you, everyone, for coming over and going through that. Thank you to the mods. You are absolutely amazing. We've got the new mods as well. I need one more mod. But if you want to be a mod, you have to be a member of Discord, and you have to head over to the community tab and put your name in the in there, not on here, because I'm now going, because it's now midnight in the UK. So I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you to the mods, like I say. Thank you to everyone, the gifters and the donations. They are very much appreciated. You don't have to do that. We don't chase people up around here for that. So thank you very much. But I'm off. You go and enjoy the rest of your day, evening. Amber has just got off work. Sadly, we're now out of here, Amber, but thank you for catching us. And to those catching on the replay, thank you as well. Take care, and I will catch you all. I can't say tomorrow now, because technically it's today, so I'll catch you actually in a few hours' time. For me, anyway. To you, it's tomorrow. Fuck, it's confusing. Take care, look after yourselves, and I'll see you all soon.